Okay. Hey y'all, it's your girl, the real deal, Anita Gill. Thanks for watching. All right, y'all. I apologize. That's a blooper. Let me start over. Hey y'all, it's your girl. Okay, start over. Hey y'all, it's your girl, the real deal, Anita Gill's reaction. Like, share, and subscribe. Shout out to all shout out to all my males. Shout out to all my females out there. Shout out to the real deal gang. Shout out to the Pisces. Shout out people from other countries and people from over here. Shout out especially to my mods and my subscribers. Woo! Okay. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Enjoy $4.99 monthly. Appreciate it. If you want to donate to Super Chat, you may. Today, I'm going to get into my live. Right now, time is 5:37. Okay, I'm going to get into the live, and the live is mainly about these folks for him. 4 American citizens who were kidnapped in Mexico last week and rescued 2 successful 2 friends. Now, allegedly, it's supposed to be 4 people. We got a couple of videos to watch, okay? Wait, let me turn the music down a bit, okay? Okay. That's good enough. Okay, that's good. Okay. Today we will watch. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, 3, 4. 4 videos, okay? And if I'm not mistaken, y'all, I thought I overheard a conversation. Then I said, no, I didn't hear that lady say that. We had ended up with, they had 2 survivors, okay? Okay, 4 American citizens was kidnapped in Mexico last week and rescued 2 herself for 2 friends. Also, Latavia Washington and Eric Williams, they was our survivor of the ordeal, okay? Now, I don't have a clue what happened. Allegedly, the woman was supposed to get a tummy tuck. And the first thing that came to my head is what part of Mexico were they in for this to happen, for cartels to come out and do what they do? Usually when something like that happens, you walking in their territory for other reasons. Okay. And yeah. And in order for the court y'all have to excuse me. I'm tired and I'm tired, and I've got to do my life. I'm telling y'all, Okay. We're gonna get just keep in mind that this is a reaction channel, so what we're gonna do is break it down. We can't just sit here and watch videos, okay? So every second of whatever second, minutes, hours, I do the video. That if I have to stop and start, that's what I have to do. This is what I do, okay? But I want to share something with y'all. Now, I overheard a conversation when I first picked it up on YouTube. I recorded it, but I think I overheard the wife said something like, they said, "Well, how you feel about your husband, being back over here?" She said, uh, she brought up her son. She said, "All right, we're good to hear his voice," and brought up her son. And I said, "What? That's all she got to say?" I said, "No, that's all she got to say about her husband." And then so left it like that. But we're gonna get into this video, okay? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna give y'all time to get in. Got charged my phone. Okay, here we go, y'all. Let's see, where is it? Okay, let me hook it up. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to hook it up. Hold on for a second. Okay, here we go.
Four Americans kidnapped in Matamoros, Mexico at gunpoint last week. Mexican authorities say two of the victims were found dead. Their bodies are now held at a morgue there. The State Department announcing the two surviving Americans are already back in the U.S. This video appearing to show the group as they were being kidnapped by heavily armed men and thrown into the back of a pickup truck. The four Americans have been identified as Shaeed Woodward, Latavia K. McGee, Zindel Brown, and Eric Williams. McGee's mother, who previously said her daughter went to Mexico for a cosmetic medical procedure, telling ABC News in a phone call that the FBI informed her daughter is one of the survivors.
I had to go home. I so appreciate it. I was thinking the Lord. I said, baby, Jesus is a God.
Michelle Williams confirms to ABC that her husband Eric is the other survivor. Mexican officials say he was found suffering from a gunshot wound to the leg. U.S. officials say gunmen began shooting at the group's minivan, which had North Carolina plates, then kidnapped the people inside. One Mexican bystander was also killed. This part of Mexico is a place Americans are warned not to travel to.
It's considered by the State Department a level 4, which says that's what Afghanistan is a level 4. But these are not places that any American should be going.
This incident highlighting the drug-related violence occurring south of the border.
Stop it right there. Did y'all hear what they just said? Okay. Someone's supposed to have cosmetic surgery. Tummy tuck. Why would they go to that part of Mexico to get surgery? There are other parts, but this is the worst part. Why would they look up this one and go to this one? This the worst one to go get a tummy tuck. Come on, y'all. 3 men and 1 woman. Okay, I'm gonna leave it right there.
Border among Mexican cartels.
The DEA and the FBI doing everything possible to dismantle and disrupt and ultimately prosecute the leaders of the.
I am so upset with him when it comes down to Shaquella Robinson. I'm sorry.
Cartels.
Mexican authorities and 1 person has been arrested in connection to the kidnapping, adding the bodies of the 2 killed Americans will be transferred to the U.S. later today.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC.
Lord have mercy. This one of the survivor, y'all.
Are back on American soil. They were found in a stash house outside the city of Matamoros, Mexico, after gunmen moved them from multiple locations to avoid capture. They were taken to a hospital where they're recovering. Williams was shot in the leg but is expected to survive. His wife, Michelle, says she spoke to him by phone.
To hear his voice, it was just a lot of crying. My son was there, and my son just wanted to hear his voice, and then he had to go because he was going into the hospital.
All right, let's go back home. To hear his voice, it was just a lot of crying. My son was there, and my son just wanted to hear his voice. And then he had to go because he was going into the hospital. What? Michelle, that's all you had to say, baby. Mm-mm. I don't know about that, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all hear this. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hold up.
Williams told me she has not slept since Sunday when she realized her husband was one of the 4 kidnapped in Mexico.
I didn't know that he was traveling to Mexico. I just knew he was going somewhere to help 2 friends. I didn't hear from him on after Friday. Friday morning, he texted me and I texted him back immediately and he didn't respond. He didn't respond to our son either. So I'm gonna assume that that's when they were ambushed.
Williams says her husband did not tell her he was going to Mexico, probably because he knew she would not have allowed it. She said she saw the video surfacing on the web, but did not realize it was her husband until the FBI came to her home Friday to inform her Eric was kidnapped. She said the 4 were found in a wooden shack where they were being guarded by a man who was arrested. The remains of the 2 dead will be turned over to U.S. authorities following forensic work at the Matamoros morgue. Authorities said Williams had been shot in the left leg, but the injury is not life-threatening.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that?
She spoke to him by phone.
To hear his voice, it was just a lot of crying. My son was there, and my son just wanted to hear his voice. And then he had to go because he was going into the hospital.
The group had left South Carolina last week for the more than 1,300-mile trip to Mexico. McGee Williams, along with friends Shaheed Woodard and Zindell Brown, traveled to Matamoros so McGee could have...
Come on, y'all. Come on. Why did they wife know where they was? Their wife didn't even know where he was. And she making up excuses for him. And I don't know if she married or not. She supposed to be the one to get the tummy tuck. Why he had to go? Why he had to go? Why he had to go?
cosmetic surgery, but they apparently got caught up in a shootout between rival drug gangs. Here you see McGee being forced into the back of a pickup truck. Woodard and Brown were killed.
You have to keep in mind that those are drug routes that the cartels protect with their lives.
More than 1 million Americans traveled to Mexico last year for things like medical procedures and medicine, spending about $250 million.
Medical tourism is a huge industry and it's growing. Until we get costs down here in the United States, it's going to continue to grow.
But medical tourists can be taking a major risk if they're not careful.
It's not that Mexico doesn't have amazing surgeons. They have incredible surgeons in Mexico. It's just that the patients from here don't know how to research and they're going to the wrong surgeons sometimes in Mexico.
Now, CBS News is
He just told y'all that. I did ask that question. I said, what made them go to that one? Let's take this back. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. This is too much. This is too much. This is too much. This is too much. This trip is too much. This is too much. One wife don't even know where he is. Oh my God. I'm not gonna assume nothing. I'm not gonna assume. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing.
Latavia McGee and Eric Williams are back on American soil. They were found in a stash house outside the city of Matamoros, Mexico, after gunmen moved them from multiple locations to avoid capture. They were taken to a hospital where they're recovering. Williams was shot in the leg but is expected to survive. His wife, Michelle, says she spoke to him by phone.
To hear his voice, it was just a lot of crying. My son was there, and my son just wanted to hear his voice. And then he had to go because he was going into the hospital.
Don't even sound right. To hear his voice, It was just a lot of crying. My son was there, and my son just wanted to hear his voice. And then he had to go as he was going into the hospital. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That don't sound right.
Megan Bob Michelle Williams, the wife of Eric Williams, told me she has not slept since Sunday when she realized her husband was one of the 4 kidnapped in Mexico.
I didn't know that he was traveling to Mexico. I just knew he was going somewhere to help 2 friends. I didn't hear from him on
The group had left South Carolina last week for the more than.
He texted me and I texted him back immediately.
Hold on.
Eric Williams told me she has not slept since Sunday when she realized her husband was one of the 4 kidnapped in Mexico.
I didn't know that he was traveling to Mexico. I just knew he was going somewhere to help.
She ain't even know her husband. Oh, see how God, see Jesus working in a mysterious way, though. She ain't even know her husband in Mexico. She didn't even know you was in Mexico, bruh. You supposed to be over here in America. You in Mexico.
2 friends. I didn't hear from him on after Friday morning. He texted me and I texted him back immediately and he didn't respond. He didn't respond to our son either. So I'm gonna assume that that's when they were ambushed.
Williams says her husband did not tell her he was going to Mexico, probably because he...
Stop making up excuses for him. Don't say probably call he nothing. He went to Mexico with you because he didn't want you to know where he was. Now you need to straighten that out, ma'am. You need to straighten that out.
He knew she would not have allowed it. She said she saw the video surfacing on the web, but did not realize it was her husband until the FBI.
Ain't that sad? Surfing off on the website. That's how I found about my husband over there. Y'all, I'm tripping when I laugh like that. I am tripping, Lord. I found out about my husband on social media. Oh, Lord. This man all the way in Mexico. And she thinking he helping his friend up there where she is. Lord have mercy, y'all. Help me, Jesus. Just help me, Lord. Help me, Jesus. This lady don't even know where her husband is. She don't even know where her husband was. And he laying there like he cool. You let him do what he want to do, so he do it.
Spoke to him by phone.
To hear his voice, it was just a lot of crying. My son was there, and my son just wanted to hear his voice. And then he had to go because he was going into the hospital.
And that's all you gotta say. What about you? How you feel about this? To hear his voice, it was just a lot of crying. A lot of crying. I just look at him. Lord, have mercy, Jesus. What you doing in Mexico? Now, suppose something happened to that man, and if something happened to him, but suppose he had been one of them, the one got shot, and she didn't even know he's supposed to be in Mexico. That's what you get for trying to be slick. Trying to be slick. And that's what Jesus did.
somewhere to help two friends. I didn't hear from him on after Friday morning. He texted me and I texted him back immediately. He didn't respond. He didn't respond to our son either. So I'm gonna assume that that's when they were ambushed.
Williams says her husband did not tell her he was going to Mexico, probably because he knew she would not have allowed it. She said she saw the video surfacing on the web, but did not realize it was her husband until the FBI came to her home Friday to inform her Eric was kidnapped. She said the four were found in a wooden shack where they were being guarded by a man who was arrested. The remains of the two dead will be turned over to U.S. authorities following forensic work at the Matamoros morgue. Authorities said Williams.
Hold up. They said they was all in the hold on, in the shed. They was in the shed, so they put the dead folks in the shed with them.
Were found in a wooden shack where they were being guarded by a man who was arrested. Realized it was her husband until the FBI came to her home Friday to inform her Eric was kidnapped. She said the four were found in a wooden shack where they were being guarded by a man who was arrested.
Okay. There were four. They put the dead bodies in the shack too. They said there were four. Golly, I know they ain't do them like that. So they threw the friends in there like that too. The deceased friends in there with them, and had the men left the other dude who covered. He made that money for the cartels. So they locked him up. So really it was just four of them. And the guy who was guarding is not no kin to them. So he'll make the fifth person. So it's really four people.
Arrested. The remains of the two dead will be turned over to U.S. authorities following forensic work at the Matamoros morgue. Authorities said Williams had been shot in the left leg, but the injury is not life-threatening.
That's sad.
And then he had to go because he was going into the hospital.
The group had left South Carolina last week on a more than 1,300-mile trip to Mexico. McGee, Williams, along with friends Shaheed Woodard and Zindel Brown, traveled to Matamoros so McGee could.
I wonder, are they the one? And they just rolled along to cover this situation up.
Have cosmetic surgery.
Yeah.
Apparently got caught up in a shootout between rival drug gangs. Here you see McGee being forced into the back of a pickup truck.
Look at that. Can I see the lady? Hold on. I see the lady back there.
The back of a pickup truck. Woodard and Brown were killed.
You have to keep in mind that those are
okay. Wow. Wow. Whew, Jesus, God, late.
Williams was shot 3 times in the leg. The two others who were kidnapped, Shaheed Woodard, I should say, and Zindel Brown, were sadly killed. I want to bring in now Barbara McLeod Urgent. She is Latavia Washington McGee's mother. Also with us is Amani Washington, Latavia's 13-year-old daughter, along with Latavia's sons, Cadence McGee and Junior. They are joining us for their first live interview. And I'm happy that you guys are here to bring light to this. I'm sorry about what happened. Barbara, good morning to you and everyone. Have you spoken to Latavia? And if so, how is she doing?
Good morning. She was doing okay. I talked to her last night.
What you guys talking about?
I asked how she was doing. She was telling me that how it was hosted and how they had it in another place and it was stamped with the her brother in there and all of them was hosted in the thing there. And they were moving up from place to place.
Did she understand? Did they understand what was happening to them at the time?
No, because she said one of those her girl was going through and a van They was driving through and a van came up and hit him, and that van, they started shooting at the car, shooting inside the van or whatever, and I guess the others tried to run and they got shot at the same time. Shahid and yelling, they all got shot at the same time. She watched them die.
And you helped to raise Shahid, right, who died. Can you tell us about it?
Yes. I had his mother had passed away when he was like 15, and I had him ever since then. And Latavia he was in the house, and so she told me that her brother, which is her cousin, but it's her brother and her cousin is my nephew and my son. And she was a good person, and I miss him. I love him. And
Wait, hold up. Hold up. Let me hear this again.
Bringing now Barbara McLeod.
McGee is her daughter, y'all.
Is Latavia Washington McGee's mother. Also with us is Amani Washington, Latavia's 13-year-old daughter, along with Latavia's sons, Cadence McGee and Junior. They are joining us for their first live interview. And I'm happy that you guys are here to bring life to this. I'm sorry about what happened. Barbara, good morning to you and everyone. Have you spoken to Latavia? And if so, how is she doing?
She was doing okay. I talked to her last night.
What'd you guys talk about?
I asked her to doing. She was telling me that how it was hostage and how they had it in that little place that was spanked with her brother in there and all those hostage and everything together. And they were moving her from place to place.
Did she understand? Did they understand what was happening to them at the time?
No, because she said a drove that was going through and a van. She was driving through and a van came and hit them, and that van, they started shooting at the car, shooting inside the van or whatever, and I guess she said the others tried to run and they got shot at the same time. Shahid and Jeremy, they all got shot at the same time. And she watched them die.
And you helped to raise Shahid, right, who died. Can you tell us about it?
Yes. I had his mother had passed away when he was like 15, and I had him ever since then. And Latavia, he was in the house, so she told me that her brother.
Shahid is one of the dudes, y'all. Had the long beard, kind of light skinned with his hair in a ponytail. That's the one she's speaking of now.
It's her cousin. But it's her brother and her cousin is my nephew and my son. And she was a good person. And I miss him. I love him. And nothing I wouldn't do for him.
Were you watching? Did you see the video on the news?
Yes.
What was going through your head when you saw it?
What? A lot of bad stuff.
Amani?
Let me throw my door next to that's for
Go on, Barbara. Sorry, you were saying what?
No, sir. When I saw it, I put my daughter on that truck and decided to just grab them and throw them up on like trash and throw them on the trucks. And I didn't like it. I wanted to get to her.
Amani, you saw it and you must have been worried about your mom. What were you thinking?
I was just thinking, like, why they get kidnapped and stuff like that.
Do either of you know about what happened and why? Because they believe at this point that is a case of mistaken identity. Have they told you anything beyond that? Have you spoken to authorities at all, Barbara?
About the kidnapping?
Yes, ma'am.
I talked to I talked to someone that was asking me a question about. First, I guess after a day two after it happened, he was asking me something about Latavia. He was asking me a question about Latavia that he was in danger.
What are you hoping comes out of this? I know no one can bring your loved ones back, but what are you hoping happens to stuff near Barbara?
I hope that get all of them and put them all in jail. The one that did it. Put all them that has something to do with it. I want them locked up.
They ain't gonna put them in jail, baby. They ain't gonna never find them. Them the cartels.
Monty, did you speak to your mom?
Yes.
What did you talk about?
All I did was say hey and told her that I missed her, and I was ready for her to come home.
Listen, I can't begin to imagine when families go through situations like this and your whole life is sort of put on display in front of everyone. I know that is disconcerting, but to have someone die and then get on television and talk about it, at least members of your family, or your mom and your daughter didn't die, but it's got to be tough for you. Can you explain, Barbara, what your family is going through at this moment?
I know that it's hurt, and that's all. It's hurt because of what happened to Shahid, and which he died, and when they had kidnapped him. So I know it's all hurt about everything.
This is, Barbara, I understand the second time that your daughter went down to the area in Mexico for a medical procedure. Did she at any point before say that she felt unsafe about it?
No, she didn't. She didn't tell me nothing about it. She didn't.
Listen, the CDC is warning against medical procedures outside of the country. They are calling it a level 4 warning, the State Department is. Do you have a message for other people who may be considering the same thing, Barbara?
No. I just wish that I know that for the family member that was, like the other family, I know that is hurt and feeling, sad and stuff about it. And some of the people out in America, they probably do too.
How are you guys? Are you guys going to go? Are you going to Texas, or what? How are you going to do it? Is she going to come home, Latavia? Are you going to go see her, or is she wait until she comes home?
We wait until she come home. She's supposed to come home today.
Monty, anything you want to say before I let you guys go? Because I can see that that JR and Cadence are getting restless.
Yeah.
All I gotta say is that they can find my mama, and that's it.
I should say Junior. So, thank you so much for joining us, Barbara. Thank you, Amani. Thank you, Cadence. Thank you, Junior.
Mm-hmm.
You guys be as well as you can under these circumstances.
You're welcome.
They're so sweet. They're so sweet.
Drinking on.
Oh, honey, what else I gotta say? This about wait a minute.
If you're struggling to lose weight, you need to see this right now. Because Stanford.
Mexican authorities are searching for suspects in the attack and kidnapping of 4 American citizens. 2 Americans were killed. U.S. officials are working to repatriate the bodies of Zindel Brown and Shahid Butler. Latavia McGee and Eric Williams returned to the U.S. yesterday and are receiving treatment at a Texas hospital today. Officials say police rescued the surviving victims from a guarded wooden shack outside the city of Matamoros. CBS News correspondent Omar Villafranca joins us now. Omar, good to see you.
Hold up, y'all. Let me look at the other 2. Oh, that's Zendaya. Oh, Zendaya, they hit his face. And there go Shaeed, y'all know when the mama said that, when the mother said that she treat him like a son, that's him right here. The one over here. Yeah. Wonder why they shot them.
Guy and Eric Williams returned to the U.S. yesterday and are receiving treatment at a Texas hospital today. Officials say police rescued the surviving victims from a guarded wooden shack outside the city of Matamoros.
CBS News correspondent Omar Villafranca joins us now. Omar, good to see you. I know you've been in contact with family members of the survivors. What have they told you?
Well, many of them are still in shock. I talked to Michelle Williams, the wife of Eric Williams, and she told me that the FBI came and knocked on her door, and at first she thought it was a scam, to the point where she even called the local police department to find out, are these people scamming me? And it was, in fact, the FBI telling her that her husband was involved in the incident in Matamoros, Mexico.
Wow,
We
they
also
threw
talked
her
to
there.
family members of Latavia McGee. And they're saying, you know, she was the one who was going down for a cosmetic surgery, and that she had done it before. She had been down here for surgery, and then this happened. So everybody's
Just imagine, y'all, she done been down there before, and it didn't happen. So why did it happen this time? Because they was in a white van?
still in shock, and of course distraught over the fact that 2 of the 4 people, the Americans, died, and 2 others are recovering here at this hospital behind me.
Omar, what do we know so far about any suspects when it comes to this case? We know one person is under arrest, but have we heard, are there any other potential targets?
Well, Mexican authorities announced that they did arrest a 24-year-old man who was basically the lookout for this particular stash house of the cartel. And that's about all that we have right now. We know that the Mexican authorities are still conducting their investigation and doing forensics, which is why still the bodies of the 2 other Americans are still down there. They're finishing their forensic investigation with the bodies, and they'll be transferred over into American custody. But they're still looking. But listen, this is cartel violence. A lot of times, matter of fact, most of the time, murders like these are not solved. In an area that's run by the cartel, it's that typical nobody saw anything, nobody heard anything. And that's going to have a lot of people here on the American side distraught. But on the Mexican side, that's the status quo. That's just what happens. We'll see if any.
Did y'all hear what he said? Think about Shaquella Robinson. Okay, listen what he just said.
Murders like these are not solved. In an area that's
there you go. Let me
run
put
by the
it.
cartel,
Hold on.
It's
Listen to what he said.
And that's about all that we have right now. We know that the Mexican authorities are still conducting their investigation and doing forensics, which is why still the bodies of the 2 other Americans are still down there. They're finishing their forensic investigation with the bodies. They'll be transferred over into American custody, but they're still looking. But listen, this is cartel violence. A lot of times, matter of fact, most of the time, murders like these are not solved.
Most of the murders like these are not solved because they was covered up. They don't know who did this to them, and they gone. They not coming to their destination anymore. And they paid that young boy who they locked up. They got to let him out. They gonna let him back out.
In an area that's run by the cartel, it's that typical nobody saw anything, nobody heard anything. And that's going to have a lot of people here on the American side distraught. But on the Mexican side, that's the status quo. That's just what happens. We'll see if anyone else is arrested by Mexican authorities.
Omar, we've learned the reason for the trip was so one of the victims could receive a cosmetic procedure. This is a pretty common practice. And in fact, people cross the border frequently. For anyone crossing the border, what precautions should they consider?
Well, we talked to safety experts who say, this particular area on the other side of Brownsville and Matamoros is a level 4, which is basically the State Department telling you, do not travel there, change your plans. But people still do it. The safety expert told us, you kind of have to try to.
So she traveled there the first time. So they tell her the second time, do not travel there. Why did she choose that place to do her cosmetic surgery? She went there the first time.
Blend in to be inconspicuous. Don't wear anything flashy if you're going over there for any procedures like this. But keep in mind, there are people every day, thousands of people who go over from the American side to the Mexico side every day for work, to go eat, to shop, to see family members. There's a lot of people who live in Matamoros, cross over into Brownsville for work, and they go back home every day. Their commute is going over that bridge. So, while some people who travel who are not familiar with the area have to take their precautions, there's a lot of people who we talk to here who say, yeah, it happens. Now, if there's gunplay or things are heating up on that side, they do get worried. We talked to a pastor who works in Matamoros but lives here, and he was telling us that when he was going over, he was taking a taxi, and the taxi even told him, hey, we're going to have to go a different way because we hear it's kind of hot, there's gunshots over here, so we're going to avoid this area. It's a common occurrence.
Well, evidently, they didn't take the route they've been taking. And y'all, we got spring break coming up, so this is going to be my last one. I want to share with y'all. The reason why I'm sharing these videos because they are facts. They're not made up video. It's for real. And this one here, military
depends on us taking decisive action. I have a two-step approach to this.
Hold on.
We've been
talking
about doing something that
y'all serious? You had a 25-year-old young lady killed over there, not in that section, but in Mexico. You had 3 more Afro-Americans shot and killed over. So they died over there some kind of way. But now y'all going to use military action to demand by the U.S. Senator after American killed? Well, we had a 25-year-old woman killed. So we got 2 men killed. I'm not trying to discriminate. But you got U.S. Wait a minute, hold on. So it didn't matter when that girl, when the girl died, right? And then you had 3 other young people that. Let me pull this up for y'all. They don't forget about these people. Have they forgot about these people? Have they forgot about these 3 that died over in Mexico? They weren't in that area, but still it was in Mexico. Have they forgotten them? Have they? Have they forgot this school teacher? Entrepreneur? So they forgot them. They ain't talking about Satan. They ain't talking about them. Have they forgot about this girl right here? Have they forgot about her? Y'all don't remember these 3 right here died over in Mexico, right? In an Airbnb. Okay, they just died. They were here for the Dead of the Dawn. Halloween, the same night this happened to this girl right here. The same night it happened to her. This young lady right here. The same time it happened to this girl right here. Shaquella Robinson. When this happened to her, this happened to these three, y'all. This is something that y'all don't know. This is what happened to these three on the same night of Shaquella. Dead or the done. Was Shaquella, was somebody sacrificing her? Dead or the done? This is serious. This fight didn't kill that girl. Y'all cut it out. This didn't kill her. This didn't kill her. Think about it, people. When this happened to this young lady right there, they left them over there. They left these young right here over there. There ain't nobody talk about these three right here. Nobody said nothing about these three. Nobody talking about them. Nobody talking about the individual right here. They died around the same time this young lady right here died. And y'all want to get on here and talk about the U.S. Senator talking about taking military action. How? Why? There ain't nothing about it over there. They gone. Y'all want to take military action now, but y'all didn't do nothing for these people? Wow. That's it. Took it to happen to these people to get the military to step in. Hallelujah. Lord have mercy. But this ain't got nothing to do with Shaquella. Ain't that sad? They worrying about who killed them two men, not who killed them women and then two men.
Because our national security and the security of the United States as a whole depends on us taking decisive action. I have a two-step approach to this, but first I want to just say we've been talking about doing something against the Mexican drug cartels regarding foreign terrorist organization designation for a decade, since 2012. Senator Kennedy and I believe Democrats will be involved to label these organizations as foreign terrorist organizations under U.S. law. That's the top of the food chain. An FTO designation is the highest designation you can give a criminal terrorist enterprise that's not a nation state. What would it mean? It means that the precursors coming from China, Chinese chemical companies and Chinese enterprises, would be subject to being prosecuted under U.S. law for providing material support to foreign terrorist organizations, something you can't do today. So we're going to open up the prosecution lane. But I'm a firm believer that the prosecution model as it exists today is not working.
Hold up. Hold up for a minute. Hold up for a minute. Hold on 1 second. Hold up. Let me see what you said right here. I want to see this part right here. He said that. Wait a minute. Hold on, y'all.
It means that the precursors coming from China, Chinese chemical companies.
Wait a minute. Mexican drug cartels to be designated as foreign terrorist organizations. I told y'all this was political. We already dealing with China's. Y'all need to stay out over there. You got this what is this? Sinaloa Lord cartels, Jalisco New Generation cartel, Gulf cartel, Los Zetas, Northeast cartels, Jerez cartel, Joanna cartel, Beltran, Leva cartels, La Filia, Misha Ancra, Carana cartel. So you got the different organizations right here. So we don't know which one that attacked them. Right now, I think we doing this one with the Chinese. I'm not sure. We'll see what he says. He giving y'all some good information. Pay attention to him.
Is the highest designation you can give a criminal terrorist enterprise that's not a nation state. What would it mean? It means that the precursors coming from China.
They tried to cut him off. He said, what it means, that's what Biden over there, y'all, in negotiating with China right now.
It means that the precursors coming from China, Chinese chemical companies and Chinese enterprises would be subject to being prosecuted under U.S. law for providing material support to foreign terrorist organizations, something you can't do today. So we're going to open up the prosecution lane. But I'm a firm believer that the prosecution model as it exists today is not working. So what?
I'm telling y'all, I've been telling y'all this. I don't know everything. I just read up on stuff. He says Senator Graham on Mexican cartels threats to Americans. That's all they did. And they serious. Like I was talking to another young lady, she said they send a message to the United States. And that's what they did. He just told y'all. Right now, China's trying to go to a war with us. It's not good for us to travel right now. But I guarantee you somebody gonna try to go back over there.
What are we going to do? We're going to up the ante. We're going to designate these groups and others, if appropriate, foreign terrorist organizations under U.S. law, changing the game for those who provide assistance to them. What drives this is fentanyl. It's been a game changer. More people died in the United States from fentanyl poisoning than car wrecks and gun violence combined. Fentanyl is becoming the leading cause of death for Americans ages 18 to 45. 200 Americans die every day due to fentanyl overdoses. Fentanyl overdoses cause the equivalent of a new September 11th every 2 weeks.
And we've been doing that fentanyl for a long time.
I think John and I believe that if there were an ISIS or Al-Qaeda cell in Mexico that lobbed a rocket into Texas, would wipe them off the planet. They're doing that times thousands, and our response is inadequate. 106,000 people last year died of drug overdoses, 70,000 related to fentanyl with no end in sight. We've recovered over 12,000 pounds of fentanyl at the border this year, enough to kill almost 3 billion people. Last by authorization.
Do you know that they're not going?
Well, y'all tell me in the comment what y'all think. What y'all think going on here? There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on political. Y'all, thanks for watching. Appreciate everybody being here. That's a lot of information, but please keep their family in our prayers also. They was life was deleted like Shaquella, and they was over there in Mexico in the Airbnb for a vacation to celebrate Mexico Day of the Dead. That's what they practice. They practice this. Okay, y'all like, share, and subscribe. I'm sorry, I'm so tired, but y'all like, share, and subscribe, okay? And I'll see y'all in the morning. All right. This is your girl, the real deal, Anita Gill's reaction. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm out, y'all.